Hi, welcome to our latest market update. If you've been wondering what's been going on in the Cincinnati real estate market in the last 30 days or so, we're here to give you that update. So what's going on the ground right now, plus February 2024 numbers. I'm Rhonda, and this is Marion Cooper.
Hey, everyone.
We're both with Comey and Shepherd Realtors in Cincinnati and Dayton. So let's dive right into the numbers. For February, we sold 1,076 units, and that was up 24% from the prior.
Woo!
I know, right? Like, hallelujah. Our lowest price property was $40,500, and it was a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath, kind of a cute, older, early 1900s home. And it was in Bethel. Honestly, it was not that terrible. It had the garage kind of underneath, and it definitely needed some updates and clean out, but I have seen worse. This house, what was interesting is it was listed at $84,900, and it sold in 2 days for $40,500 conventional.
Conventional, not cash.
No, not cash. Conventional.
Okay.
Kind of wondering if there were some appraisal issues or some things that went on in there, but we don't have all those details right now. So moving on, our highest priced home was a lovely Tudor in Hyde Park, 4 bedrooms, 4.5 baths, 6,800 plus square feet on almost an acre, which is kind of hard to find in that area. It was built in 1923, and we don't really know a lot about this property because it was put into contract off market and there are no photos. So what it does say is that there is a rare, oversized 3-car heated garage that walked into the finished lower level with a full bath, built-in bar, and an infrared sauna. So this home was listed and sold 0 days actually on the market, $3.2 million cash.
Yeah, the sauna must have done it.
But you can buy one for a lot less than $3.2 million. So I'm sure the location probably had a little something else to do with it. And then I also read that Nick Lachey sold his mansion in the Cincinnati area recently, 2 something million. We'll see if we can get some details on that for you, but that recently happened as well. So continuing on, our average sale was up 6% to $333,000. Our median days on market did come down, so we are now at 12. Right. That just means things are starting to pick up. They're moving a little more quickly. And then we currently have 1,339 units available for sale. And the one last thing I want to mention, our average sale year over year was still at 5.8%. So still up, we'll take it for everyone who is just watching their equity. So Marion, did you have some stats for the Dayton market?
For Dayton, the numbers are similar to what we have seen in Cincinnati. So total units told 652. And the units currently available only 637. So hard to imagine and wrap my head around even, and this is what I do for a living, fewer than the Cincinnati market. That number is very discouraging. So now the average sale price, I think, is where it becomes a little bit more encouraging for those looking in the Dayton market. So Montgomery and Greene counties, the two biggest counties, the average sale for Montgomery and Greene counties last month was $239,000. Now, when we look at the highest and the lowest sales that happened last month in the Dayton market, each of those was located one was in Butler County and the other was in Warren County. Now, traditionally, those are counties that are considered to be more Cincinnati than Dayton, but we certainly see properties depending on the city and the locations in relationship to the interstates we'll see those listed sometimes in both, sometimes only in Dayton. So that's where we, as your trusted real estate professionals, that's where we're going to come in handy. Rhonda and I routinely, daily, work both Cincinnati and Dayton. So we're going to be able to view the comps in both the Dayton and the Cincinnati MLS to get you the most up-to-date and accurate statistics possible.
So when we were saying that there's 652 units sold in the Dayton market, that's 2 counties. And in Cincinnati, we sold 1,076 units in 4 counties.
When you look at the fact that Butler County properties sometimes will be listed in both, Warren County sometimes will be listed in both. So there is some bleeding of the markets into one another. And it's something that we've been hearing for the last 30 to 50 years, that the Cincinnati and Dayton areas are going to become one single sprawling metroplex. Now, has it happened quite yet? Not quite, but perhaps within our lifetimes we'll see that.
We are not yet Houston, or Dallas, Fort Worth, I guess is what that's how they said it was going to go. But what's kind of happening right now, I will say this market continues to surprise us. Our listings were like, where'd everybody go? What's going on? Now,
does anyone like us anymore?
We did all the stuff. Now, the other thing is that our sellers on both of these last 2 listings really pushed the envelope. They were going to be the highest price sold in their neighborhood for what they had. And so we still managed to sell them very close to asking, but it did really make things slow down. And in talking to other agents in our office, they've said the same thing. Well, why did this one get 30 million showings and offers and this one got 2? Other than price and condition, location, I don't know. But yes, Marion, I know you have been working with some buyers. What types of things should buyers be prepared for right now?
Anything listed below 300,000. The competition is going to be fierce, full stop. That's just, when you look at the median sale price points, that's logical. That makes sense to me. Getting our buyers to believe it takes a little bit more convincing. So the other things that we're seeing, and this is not unusual or different, if it's clean and it's cute, you can't sell a dirty, stinky house for top dollar. You just can't. So, however, for my buyers whose budgets don't go up to 300,000, I definitely know that I'm on the lookout for those back on the market listings. I'm on the lookout for something that has a little something, hopefully just cosmetic, that's not entirely perfect about it. I'm on the lookout for something that hasn't been updated. And I'm lucky in that I have some clients who really love a rustic and or 70s, 80s kitchen.
Retro?
Absolutely. If you love retro, then let's talk. I happen to love it myself. So those are some of the trends that we're seeing. And then, going back to the basics of how to compete when you're in a market with multiple offers, and just going through those steps with our buyers and saying, how confident are you with this property? And how much do you love it? And how much do you want it? If all of those things are high, then here are some things that we can consider to sweeten the offer, to make your offer stronger. And those are going to be things like an escalation addendum, perhaps consider limiting your inspections or doing a full inspection and limiting the amount of repairs that you're going to ask for. We have probably at least half a dozen different tactics that we can propose, and it depends on your level of comfort with taking these chances as to which ones are going to be right for you, which ones are going to be right for the property, for your finances. It's not easy, but that's why Rhonda and I love doing this. Nothing is straightforward. Everything is going to be negotiation. You get what you negotiate.
It's very, very true. And as we have probably mentioned, rates currently right around 7% for most buyers. Might be a little under, might be a little over, depending upon a variety of things. But the Fed announced this last week that they were not reducing rates. Everything was going to stay as it is for a while longer. Yet they mentioned possibly 3 rate cuts this year. And I don't know about anybody else, but I'm not positive I'm buying it at this point. I feel like they're just leading us on so that people don't completely lose their minds. We'll just kind of have to see. But I would say that right now, if you have a down payment or you have a down payment coming, maybe from taxes, or you sold some things, or whatever, you have some money saved, you're saving more, and the right property comes up, I always say it's better to get the house and then figure out that financing. I do think rates will come down some, and enough to make your payment lower. But you still have to be able to afford it now. So keep that in mind. We do not want you to do something that you feel uncomfortable with. So, you have to make that final decision. But again, if the opportunity presents itself, going ahead with purchasing something, if you can get it, still a good idea. Because the house will still continue to appreciate. At least that's what we are seeing right now. And lastly, I just want to mention, some of you may have heard that the National Association of Realtors is trying to settle this suit and that everything's going to change. And there's all sorts of speculation on how it's going to change and whether or not realtors will even be needed. Prices will come down. I mean, I have heard it all. And what I want to say is nothing has been accepted by the court. And I believe that the DOJ still has to weigh in on the acceptance of this settlement agreement. So don't get your hopes up. Don't think anything is the gospel, because at this moment, it's not. So we are just moving forward with what we, currently have. Everything's negotiable. And, we just kind of have to work through things the way that it's going to work best for you. That's what we're here for, is to help talk to you and figure out what your goals are and how to make everything work.
This is my prediction. When the lawsuit is fully settled and accepted and ratified by the courts, I do not think prices will go down as a result.
I don't either. I also would be very surprised, and maybe they will adjust for some people in some circumstances, but I think overall home prices are not going to change because of this. But I think overall, just knowing how the courts work and how things just go, I would be shocked if July is really when things are going to go into place, because you have to remember it comes from national. All the states have to have their own groups decide what they're going to do or how it's going to play out in their state. And then that comes down to the local level. And locally, we have the Dayton MLS, the Cincinnati MLS, and even Northern Kentucky for some people. So those are all different boards and MLS groups. And the only thing that we're pretty sure of right now is that buyer agent compensation will no longer be allowed on those MLS sites. So beyond that,
stay tuned. We'll see what happens.
That's pretty much where that sits. But do you have questions? Please comment down below or give us a call, and we would love to chat with you more. We'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching.